The villages of India were known for their clean environment, serene surroundings, pure and simple lifestyle since times immemorial. In fact, our villages symbolized all that was good in nature. But whatever nature has provided the villages regarding the gift of living in healthy environment has gradually been spoiled by the villagers themselves in recent times. To know the reasons for degradation of our village environment, we talked to Dr. A.S. Atwal, a renowned ecologist and expert on rural development.
According to the records available on ancient India, the living and sanitary conditions in towns and also in villages were much better than they are today. In fact, it is reported that their collective and living was in streets which were paved, and there were proper stormwater drainages. Moreover, people lived in small communities outside, where it was villages. They lived at the edge of the forest, cultivated their fields, and lived under natural environment. For their call of nature and for other ablutions, they went out to the forest areas, and they did not create garbage and dirt near their dwellings. But in the more recent centuries, conditions have changed. With increase in population, concentration of the people, the conditions have deteriorated in the sense that they become lazy and they do not go out to the forest areas, and they have not utilized the modern technology and science for building surroundings which are healthy and have proper sanitation.
The degradation of our living environment in the villages is mainly of our own making due to our apathy in proper disposal of waste. Earlier, problems related to rural sanitation were mainly due to ignorance and lack of technology. In recent times, this problem has been greatly aggravated due to population explosion, and the villages near cities have become virtual slums. We must do something to check this trend. Before we touch the different aspects of keeping our villages clean, let us first identify the various components of insanitation. These components are disposal of solid garbage, liquid waste disposal, human and cattle excreta, village pond maintenance, village well hygiene. The problem of disposal of solid garbage is from two fronts, that is, in the house and in streets. Village women habitually keep their houses clean. They even plaster their houses with cow dung. After cleaning the house, they throw the garbage in the backyard or in the street. While they make the inside of the houses clean, the outside becomes dirty. There is an urgent need to bring a change in the habit of village folk regarding proper disposal of solid garbage to improve village sanitation. We must also develop a proper system in the house as well as for the streets for safe and hygienic disposal of solid waste. Many government and semi-government agencies have designed different garbage collection and disposal systems suitable for the community as well as for the household wastes. The problem of liquid waste needs to be tackled on three fronts. That is, water from the kitchen, the bathrooms, and rainwater. Mostly, after every meal we clean the kitchen utensils and as a matter of habit, throw the water anywhere. Similar is the case with bathroom water, which finds a nice place in the house yard or streets in stinking puddles. Sometimes we make a dirty pond in our own house from this waste water. The solution to this problem is the soak pit. This is the simple design of a soak pit where you have to dig a 3 cubic feet large pit. Put small pebbles at the bottom, large stones in the middle, and biggest at the top. Then cover the whole thing with sand. Now all dirty water from kitchen and bathroom will be soaked by this pit, and your backyard will be free from stinking and stagnant water. As far as the problem of rainwater is concerned, it can be solved by making pakka streets and drains with proper slope. The village pond can also solve this problem by accepting the rainwater. Majority of people in rural areas resort to open-air defecation due to non-availability of in-house sanitary facilities. Another major problem is the disposal of animal waste. In fact, it constitutes more than half of the total sanitation problem in rural India. Defecating in open and throwing animal excreta in houses and streets has posed serious multidimensional health problems in rural areas. Mosquitoes find a home in the dirty puddles to flourish and find a nice place for breeding. Flies bring disease-causing organisms from human excreta. All this causes many communicable diseases.
Under the conditions available in the villages and the habit of living, solid wastes are thrown on heaps where pigs feed, and they are the carriers of diseases like the roundworms and tapeworms. Liquid waste, also excreta of the cattle and of the human beings, are also let go out of the houses and they collect in ponds where medium is created for the breeding of houseflies and mosquitoes. Houseflies, as you know, are carriers of a number of diseases like hepatitis, cholera, gastroenteritis, typhoid, etc. Under more liquid conditions of standing water, mosquitoes breed, and as you know, Anopheles type of mosquitoes are the carriers of malaria, which gives a very high fever to the people. They become ill and lose a number of working days, apart from having lot of pain and suffering to the whole family.
Severe insanitation conditions around the dwellings can be a great health hazard for the young babies, especially under the age of 5. For better health care of our villagers, our first and foremost priority is to tackle the problem of disposal of solid waste, including human and cattle excreta, through the use of appropriate technologies as per the need of rural areas.
CBRI undertook survey of villages in different parts of the country, and our findings were that all households throw wastewater onto the streets. 100% of the households are depositing their solid waste into open manure pits, and most importantly, that 90% of the households do not have latrines in their houses. The urban technologies which are currently available to take care of these problems are costly and not within the means of individuals or community of our rural settlements. From this starting point, CBRI took up R&D on 3 fronts. One is the development of low-cost waste water disposal system. Number 2, low-cost latrines. And number 3, improvement of individual and community biogas plants, essentially to stop leakage and corrosion of gas holders of these biogas plants.
Individual latrines and community latrines are the answer to open-air defecation. The concept of community latrine will only be successful if these are kept clean and hygienic. In a community latrine, all the flushed human excreta goes to the septic tank, which is simply a pit covered from the top. In a simple septic tank, the waste enters through the inlet, where the solid particles settle down and are decomposed by the anaerobic bacteria. The clear water flows out from the outlet into the soak pit. So community latrine can solve this problem, especially in villages with more population and where villagers can't afford the individual latrines. And for disposal of cattle excreta, Cattle should be kept away from the dwellings with brick flooring, with slope and drain lines. Cattle waste should be properly collected and decomposed in a pit system. Instead of using dung for making cakes, the biogas plant is the best answer, which can effectively take care of this problem. In the biogas plant, the dung is put in a drum-like structure. Then water is added to it and mixed to make a slurry. This slurry goes to the pit where it decomposes to give us cooking gas for our kitchen. Besides gas, we also get manure, which is rich in nitrogen and other minerals. We talked to a village family which uses biogas plant with attached latrine. They say the system is very useful, especially during rains. Now they do not need to go out for open defecation. They are also free of the hazard of a smoke-filled kitchen, and the gas is sufficient for their family of about 10 members. It was the community wing of Thapa College who inspired them to install this biogas plant. CBRI Roorkee, Department of Non-Conventional Energy Sources, and many other agencies have designed various technologies appropriate for meeting the needs of our villages in different areas. For more information and guidance, one can contact CBRI Roorkee, Department of Non-Conventional Energy Sources, State Departments of Public Health, Rural Development and Panchayat, Agriculture, and Community Polytechnics. Pond is an integral part of every Indian village culture and is in fact the very lifeline for the villagers. The buffalo gives more milk after enjoying in the pond, especially during summer. It also takes in rainwater, which will otherwise get stagnated in the village streets. It goes without saying that village ponds should be hygienic and well maintained, because both cattle and the children enjoy having a dip in the pond, particularly during the hot period. Fish culture should be adopted in the village pond. Fish keep the pond water purified, besides yielding handsome income for the panchayat. Pond should be lined with bricks to check silting through erosion of kacha banks. Besides the pond, the village well is yet another center of the social life of the villagers. It is meant primarily for potable water and should not be used for bathing or washing clothes, as it will pollute the drinking water. In fact, the well should be covered and surroundings kept well cleaned. Periodically, the well water should be treated with chlorine or potassium permanganate to check the spread of waterborne diseases like jaundice, gastroenteritis, etc. If we have to keep our villages clean, then it is important to motivate the people to develop the right kind of attitude and behavior in this direction. Otherwise, all the resources and efforts of government and other agencies which are at our disposal will go waste. They should also be made aware of the appropriate technologies available through demonstration and participation.
According to my mind, there are 3 steps in improving sanitary conditions in the villages. Firstly, people should have the right knowledge and know that insanitary conditions are not good for their own health. Secondly, they should know and have the will to improve conditions and realize that it is for their own good. And thirdly, there should be appropriate and affordable technology available which can be adopted in the villages without excessive expenditure.
I would like to appeal to my brothers and sisters in rural areas that it is very important to bring in consciously a change in the attitude towards the new innovations which are brought up by the R&D of various organizations, especially CBRI. An intensive awareness of the use of these innovations would make their own life happy and harmonious, as well as help in the overall development of the community.
Let us come forward and use these technologies appropriate for our needs for keeping rural India clean, for a happy and healthy living.